Altcoins are waiting for this one key catalyst before they can finally explode to the upside. With Bitcoin and Ethereum seeing most of the gains this cycle, many of us are left disappointed in our altcoin bags. In this video, I'm going to break down what I think needs to happen before alts can go higher. I'm going to explain what I'm looking at and what you can look at home to keep you up to date with this development, why it's so important, and what I think needs to happen next to send altcoins parabolic. If that sounds good to you, like and subscribe down below, and let's tune in to today's video. Now, I know this cycle has been a little disappointing with the altcoins. We have seen some runners and we have seen some outperformance, but by and large, it's pretty much been Bitcoin and Ethereum leading the charge and getting most of the gains. I think that most of the pieces are in place for a rip-roaring alt season. However, I think there's one key factor that has not yet occurred, and that is the business cycle. Now, the business cycle, put simply, is just the expansion or the contraction of the economy. And it's measured by things like GDP, employment, and manufacturing output. Now, for the last few years, the business cycle has been mostly stalled. We haven't seen that economic expansion. We haven't seen that uptick in demand for manufacturing. And hence, we haven't seen more people feeling more wealthy. The business cycle is essentially a temperature check on the average investor. How much money do they have? How much work do they have? How good do they feel about their finances? And subsequently, how much money are they putting into markets? How good do they feel about risking their money? Do they feel as if they need to save their money and that they're not very certain about where the economy is going? Or is the economy booming? Is there plenty of demand and tons of work? And so they feel subsequently better about putting money into riskier assets. I got a clip here from the man himself, Raoul Pal, who does lots of work on the business cycle, understanding how it fits into alt season and how it fits into the broader crypto cycle. About 20 seconds, have a listen.
The business cycle is how you all feel, how your businesses feel, driven by the business cycle. Am I creating excess earnings? Am I growing? Most of the economy is not growing. Some parts are growing. GDP is growing for different reasons. But really, the average median business in America, median person's income, ain't changing right now.
And so the business cycle is essentially how we feel. How good do we feel? And how likely are we to go into riskier assets? Have a look at your screen. Got world business confidence major regions, Europe, the Americas, and Asian business confidence at a decade-long low, except for COVID. I mean, this is COVID right here. This is the bare lows of COVID. But other than that, we are at the lowest point of business confidence. This is an insight to how businesses are feeling and subsequently how the business cycle is either accelerating or not accelerating. And right now, we're not accelerating. This is the problem. This is the key that's missing. Once this picks up, once businesses start to do better, I believe altcoins will do better as a result. Now, I know what you're asking. How can we keep an eye on the business cycle at home? What can we look at to tell us where we are in the business cycle? Should I be bearish or should I be bullish on the business cycle? So have a look at your screen. Right here, I've got the ISM. This stands for the Institute for Supply Management. Essentially what they do is they give a survey to the world's largest supply chain managers, asking them a series of questions about their business and the economy. Based on the answers to those surveys, we get a score, somewhere between 30 and 70. Above 50 means the economy is expanding, and below 50 means that we're contracting. So when you're looking here, you can see that really since 2023, we have been kind of just floating around 50. I mean, we're sitting right now at a 48. Look back here to the last bull market. This is the end. This is 2020. This is coming out of the COVID lows and coming up into the bull market. This is the bull market right here. Now in pink, I've got others. So this is the altcoin market, essentially, all the total crypto market cap minus the top 10. And what we're seeing here is a strong connection between the altcoin market and the ISM, or the business cycle. This measures the business cycle, this black line. And you can see the connection. As this goes up, altcoins trend higher. As the ISM falls, altcoins go down. And you can, I mean, it's not a one-to-one correlation, but it's almost kind of, I mean, look at this little dip, look at this little dip, you know, this little zig, this little zag, and then this pickup, and then a flattening. So this right here, this is the key to understanding where we are in the business cycle. It's the key to understanding why altcoins haven't moved. And this is what makes me so convicted. And this is what gives me patience to sit through any range, any volatility that we see in alts. Why are alts not going higher? Why is only Bitcoin and Ethereum? Is it a Bitcoin only cycle? Is it Ethereum only cycle? Are altcoins not going to moon this cycle? I believe that they are. I can't tell you anything for sure. I don't have a crystal ball. But what I can tell you is that historically what has connected altcoin season to broader market movements is the business cycle. And we are seeing the business cycle, the ISM, still down here by 50. We are not expanded. The economy is not expanding. People are not feeling better about their jobs. They're not feeling better about their businesses. And hence, altcoins are not catching a bid. When this ticks higher, I believe altcoins will also tick higher. And so to me, I look at this being low. I look at altcoins not performing very well, and that makes me feel comfortable. I feel comforted by that fact. The fact that there's a reason. I understand now why altcoins aren't moving. It's not that it's a Bitcoin only cycle. It's not that it's an Ethereum only cycle. It's that the major catalyst for altcoins hasn't moved yet, and it will move. I do believe that it will move. Again, don't have a crystal ball, but it would be a very bizarre phenomenon for there to not be economic expansion. And with the Trump administration signaling stimulus from the big beautiful bill, and with trade clarity and tariff clarity and rate cuts on the horizon, I believe that the business cycle is set to expand in the second half of 2025. And so now that we've identified the problem here is that the business cycle is still flat. The ISM is still ranging around 50. So when can we expect this to move? I believe there's going to be a couple of big catalysts that really push the business cycle, the ISM, higher, and subsequently the altcoin markets higher. First of all, I think it's going to be rate cuts. Rate cuts are going to allow everything to start flowing more easily. When the Fed lowers rates, it allows liquidity to flow more easily. It encourages borrowing. And this money, this liquidity flows into the economy slowly but surely. It kind of trickles down. It's almost like uncrimping the hose. When you crimp a garden hose and the water gets cut off, imagine uncrimping that hose a little bit. This is what rate cuts do. And I got Jordy Visser here who shares this view. He's going to touch briefly on what he thinks rate cuts are going to do for the business cycle. About 20 seconds here. Have a listen.
The next rate cuts to me will be the actual rate cuts that we were expecting. That'll be the trigger for the business cycle. And it'll come at a time where I really do believe we are underestimating just how much build out is going to have to happen to deal with all this compute. The humanoids that are coming behind it, the full self-driving vehicles, the AI native phones, the battery needs.
And so Jordy is arguing that rate cuts will help usher in the business cycle. And then also what he's referring to is the AI build out. The AI build out is going to be massive. Right now, we're already seeing it underway. The data center infrastructure, building out all the hardware and the software for AI. This is going to be stimulative for the US economy. And you have to think about all the CapEx that's been coming in, all the investment that's been coming in from companies like Microsoft and Nvidia, investing money into the United States to help build up their manufacturing. This is what drives the business cycle. This is the expansion of the economy. This is more employment. This is more GDP. And this is going to drive the ISM higher and subsequently drive altcoins higher. Because again, this is the average person feeling more confident about the economy, having more money. And then as rates come down, their mortgages, their car payments, their credit card interests becomes more affordable and more people have money. This is going to cause markets more broadly to accelerate. And I'm not the only one who thinks so. I've got Tom Lee here, basically the Michael Saylor of Ethereum. He's going to break down what he thinks a rising ISM is going to do for markets. Have a listen.
I think there's a lot of upside. Especially because, once you get an ISM back above 50, it really does argue for a broadening of markets. And I think one of the leaders probably comes from the financial sector. So I think, towards the end of the year, 6,800, 7,000 is possible.
Led by tech still?
Yeah, so I think you still want to play...
This week.
Yeah, you want to be long AI and the crypto trade because those have been the market leaders. So the Mag 7, Bitcoin, Ethereum. But the broadening is really the financials, industrials, and small caps.
And so notice at the end of that clip that Tom Lee mentioned small caps. Now there he's talking about stock markets. But does it remind you of anything else? Small caps may be similar to altcoins because that's what's going to happen. As the business cycle ticks up, as people feel more confident and they have more money, as rates begin to come down, as the AI build out begins to accelerate, as trade clarity and tariff clarity come through, and the stimulus from the big beautiful bill drives up GDP, drives up economic activity, we're going to see the ISM tick higher. And subsequently, I do believe altcoins will tick higher as well. This is what has me so convicted. This is why I can't be bothered with short-term price action. And it's why I don't think you should be bothered with it either. Hopefully this video has given you some clarity and some insight as to what drives markets, and given you some reassurance that we more than likely will see an alt season, because what drives alt season typically has not yet occurred. And if you want to stay up to date with the insights and the clarity that can help make you a more patient, confident investor, make sure you like and subscribe down below. Leave a comment below, let us know if you've learned anything. Again, the goal of this channel is to educate you and make you become a better investor. That's our goal, and we hope that we're doing a good job of that. Anyways, thanks for tuning in. We'll see you in the next one.